has to be on a panel. That is so awesome. There was a reason why you said yes. Maybe it's to obtain higher visibility for yourself or your company. Maybe it's brand reputation. Maybe you want to share your expertise with a larger audience. Maybe it establishes you as a credible person in your industry. These are all amazing things, but honestly, at the bottom line, you're probably wondering, so am I going to get paid? My name is Kristen Arnold, and I am a master facilitator and as well as a leading authority on panel discussions, and I can tell you, that answer is, it depends. Let's find out why. So there is a default thought process about panelists in the meetings industry, is that if you are a panelist, generally speaking, you are probably not going to be paid because you're invited specifically because you're already going to be there. You're a paid registrant because your corporation or your association or your organization sent you, or maybe you're a sponsor and, well, you're going to be there. You're an exhibitor, well, you're going to be there. Maybe you're an industry expert, you're going to be there. So why would they pay you if you're already going to be there? There is another class of person that I would say will already be there, but it's part of a larger context of the program. They are already in the program, whether they're a paid professional speaker or a paid industry expert or an invited industry expert, and this panel could be considered as a tag-along to another engagement, in which case refer to that other engagement about how you're going to get paid. So regardless of which category you find yourself in, if you think you should be paid, well, here's a tip. Ask for it. You won't get paid if you don't ask. And here's a couple of ideas, is that especially if you are an industry expert or you're a professional speaker, have a panelist rate so that you could say, in order for me to attend this panel, here's what I normally charge. And you can say it with a straight face. Most people that I talk to, including professional speakers, industry experts, they don't have one, which just shocks me. Okay, so have a panelist rate so that you can quote them that rate. You could also ask them for a stipend. A stipend wouldn't be a full rate. It's a smaller acknowledgement that this is taking you time to prepare and get ready for. So it's an honorarium, a stipend, something that acknowledges your effort. You could ask for travel and expenses. This is pretty traditional for people who are being invited. They may or may not already be registered. It's kind of an inducement to say, yes, we value you, but we'll pay your travel and expenses. That's almost normal, but not all the time. So ask for travel and expenses. Or will you pay my travel and expenses? And then finally, a way to get compensated is to ask for a contribution to your charity. Or maybe the organization has a foundation. Ask for some monies to be deposited on your behalf for that foundation or that charity. Okay, so did you already get a tip, an idea about how you might get paid as a panelist? If you did, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. And while you're down there, please just click that like button and subscribe to this YouTube. Thanks. Okay, so what if the meeting organizer says, oh, I'm so sorry, there's no budget for that. We'd love to pay you your panelist fee. We'd love to give you a stipend. We'd love to give you an honorarium. We'd love to pay your travel and expenses, but we don't have any money. You go, oh. You can either let that go there, or you can say, well, how about if we get creative? And the meeting organizer will probably look at you and go, what? You go, well, you know, it is some effort of my time. So let's think about a barter situation. If I'm coming and I'm going to be participating, what would be an equal exchange of value? Now they might say, oh, registration to the conference. Well, that might be worth your value because you have to pay for the registration to the conference. So if they pay it, yay, it's a win-win. Maybe they might say, well, we sell antiseptic wipes. Maybe some of us are really into antiseptic wipes. I'll get a year-long supply of antiseptic wipes. Yay, that's awesome. I don't know what it is, but there's a barter exchange, maybe either with that organization or maybe one of their sponsors has something that they can offer you that you value, that is an equal exchange of value. That's called a barter. Speaking of sponsorships, maybe just somebody will sponsor the panel either the entire panel or your role, a sponsor is a great way to have those costs covered. Maybe something that would be of value to you as a panelist is that you get access to the VIPs in the organization or the association. So that, if you're trying to get more visibility and more face time with some of the legends or the titans in the industry, now you have access. You're invited to a VIP-only breakfast or lunch. Something like that might be of interest to you. Maybe you might have a product or service that you want to suggest to the audience. Now, I do not recommend that you promote from the panel. And I have a whole video on that. If somebody's going to mention that you have an offer, the best person to do that is your panel moderator or the person who is introducing the panel itself. You should not hawk from the platform. Nobody wants that. A gentle allusion, maybe, but maybe you have an offer that you want to offer, and whether it's the panel moderator makes the offer, or it's something available in the back of the room, or it's a digital download, a barcode, that is something that you might say that would be of commensurate value. That would be of interest to me. And finally, there might be something that you say, there's something that I would like. So can we work this out? Maybe it's a free registration to another one of the events that organization holds, or maybe it's a free registration to a sister organization that they can do, or maybe that they have a relationship with a hotel property that they always have their meetings at, and maybe they can give you 2 nights at that resort or something. Think creatively, because it's about creative compensation strategies. These aren't direct payments, but they are ways of acknowledging that what you're bringing to the table during that panel discussion is worthwhile. Perhaps you as a panelist, you're looking for visibility. Maybe you write an article for their newsletter or their email, or something that contributes to the larger knowledge of what's going on in the industry. So maybe visibility is something that you can exchange of value. There might be some opportunities for publicity. Maybe there's a few folks from the media who are going to be attending that meeting to let you be interviewed by them. That might be worth your while. And finally, maybe the panel is being recorded professionally by a video crew. It's hard to get good video footage. So maybe just having the video footage would be a great compensation strategy. The key is to think creatively about how you can be recognized and compensated, not just by money, but for your time and energy to be on that panel. My hope is that you got a couple of good ideas about how you can be recognized for what you're bringing to the panel, either through being paid or being compensated in some creative fashion. If you like what you heard, please like this video. And I do have a free checklist for you. It's called www.powerfulpanels.com/checklist, which gives you all kind of things that you need to be thinking about to prepare yourself to be an awesome panelist. Thanks for watching.